What is executive coaching? In this video, I'm going to talk about what executive coaching is, along with a certificate that you may need in order to do executive coaching. I'm also going to cover how my organization runs executive coaching with the largest organizations on the planet, and we're starting right now. Hey, this is Jeffrey Suey with CoachesTrainingBlog.com and Master Coach University. And before we get to the good stuff, if this is your first time here and you want to learn how to change lives and get paid, this channel covers everything from becoming a life coach to getting certified to starting and expanding a successful professional coaching business. And you can get started now by subscribing and clicking the little bell icon so you don't miss anything. Okay, what is executive coaching? Executive coaching is coaching, which is really just a dialogue, a process, a conversation that is really there to support or produce results for the scope of an executive's performance, their results and achievement, their communication and their development. It's coaching for an executive and the results an executive would want from that process. Now, executives are leaders in their organizations, so part of executive coaching is leadership coaching. It's almost like a subset of executive coaching. And as such, executive coach is going to probably provide leadership coaching for the executives that they coach. That executive needs to lead people in their organization. They need to lead people to higher levels of performance. They need to lead people to follow through on what they need to follow through on. They need to lead their teams and inspire their teams to some extent to produce results that wouldn't get produced if that leader hadn't shown up. The function of leadership is novelty. The function of leadership is to produce a new result for the individual that they're leading or the team that they're leading that they wouldn't produce had they not shown up and actually led. So a great executive coach is really also, in a way, a great leadership coach too. Before we get to more detail, if you want to watch more of me talking about the definitions of life coaching, the coaching business, and different aspects and types of personal professional coaching, click the little tag right up there to the right so you can watch the entire What is Coaching series. Now, there is a certificate that there's a good chance you're going to need in order to even be eligible to coach most executives, at least in the Fortune 500. The ICF credential, the International Coach Federation credentials, are the worldwide recognized standard in the world of coaching. And the government and the larger organizations in the world recognize ICF credentials as the credentials that they need or they require in order to hire a coach to coach their executives. It's the proof, if you will, that that coach that they're hiring has the skills, achievement, knowledge, and abilities to provide the level of coaching that that organization expects and requires for their executives. So if you want to go work for the government as a coach, or you want to get hired for coaching projects for executives in large organizations, there's more than a 50% chance that that organization is going to expect that you hold an ICF credential. If you want to learn more about ICF credentials, just click this little tag that's up in your right-hand corner of your screen. I actually do a full interview with ICF talking about ICF credentialing, the process to get your credential, and how to start your journey towards gaining your ICF credential. We also provide that type of training for you to actually receive different levels of ICF credentials. So if you're interested in that, talk to us. Let's talk a little bit about how my organization and my teams of coaches actually run coaching projects for some of the largest organizations on the planet, where we actually coach their managers and their executives at times. We generally partner with training organizations. Training organizations are regularly hired by large organizations, by large companies, large corporations, to come in and teach their teams, teach their executives leadership skills and management skills and hiring skills, all sorts of different types of skill transfer. That's what training is required for. That's why organizations hire trainers and training companies. What my team generally will do with a training company as their partner is run the follow-up coaching. So just because a trainer comes in and trains for 2 days on a particular area doesn't mean people are going to use what they learned. In fact, it's highly probable that the teams that go through these big corporate trainings don't use anything that they learn. In fact, they forget most of it within 3 to 6 weeks of the actual training itself. So coaching is really required as a follow-up so that the investment that these corporations make in our training partners actually ROIs, they get a return on that investment. What our coaches will do when we come in and work with a large organization and the executives in that organization is we make sure, number one, that those executives are actually using what they learned. We hold them accountable for just taking action on that stuff, following through on it. We actually facilitate as well conversation around what they learned so they can drive that memorization or drive that ability to understand and appreciate and value what they were learning in training even more deeply. Sometimes just talking about stuff helps you to understand it and appreciate it even more. And our coaches help to facilitate that process. Also, what we'll do is work with executives on utilizing what they've learned successfully. Just because they know about it and you have the knowledge of something doesn't mean that your skills are at the level where you've mastered using it yet. So, for instance, if they've learned some aspects of management and communication, maybe they understand it theoretically, but we're going to not only hold them accountable for practicing this stuff, but as they practice it, when they have challenges, when it didn't work, or when they used it but they kind of fumbled the ball a little bit, our coaches can actually work with them and work through where did things get stuck. Was it your mindset? Was your delivery? Was it something that went on with the other individual that you worked with? What do you need to learn from this experience, and how are you going to change it next time so you're doing it even better, so you're at another level of performance after that particular coaching session that we just gave. There are also higher level development projects that sometimes our team is hired to work with large corporations to facilitate, where it's over a year or more, where each executive actually individually can work on their own skills, their own development, their own mindset, very deeply, to the point of kind of being groomed to move up to the next level. Maybe they're about to get into the C-suite, so to speak. I also want to clarify that even though coaching, strictly speaking, is an inquiry type of process where the coach is not there just to provide knowledge and expertise, but they're there to ask powerful questions and facilitate a discussion that really supports that executive in their own, again, performance and achievements and results and communication. A lot of times executive coaches and corporate coaches will provide consulting within or under the umbrella of the coaching process that they facilitate. Now, strictly speaking, this is not exactly coaching, but there's really nothing wrong with providing knowledge and teaching a little bit inside of the coaching process that an executive coach does. And a lot of times it makes the executive coach even more valuable to the organization or the executive that hired them. We see more and more that large executive coaching and corporate coaching firms are looking more and more like consulting firms. Is this blurring the line a little bit between true coaching and really what consulting is? Probably it is to some extent. But this is, I think, a great help to the corporate and executive coaching realm, because consulting organizations are highly respected and needed and are paid a pretty penny by large corporations. And so if coaching organizations and coaches, executive coaches, can bring in that kind of dollar, then we'll find our own way to navigate between coaching and consulting and the definitions. Really, when it comes down to it, the corporation that hires you, they really don't care about what the definition of coaching is or what the definition of consulting is. They really care about getting the results that they want in their business. That's why they're hiring you. So if you bring a little consulting to the table, that's probably just going to move you up in a company's eyes, not down. Once again, this is Jeffrey T. Suey with CoachesTrainingBlog.com and Master Coach University. I hope you got some value out of this discussion today about executive coaching. Do you think it makes a difference to pair an executive with a coach to support them? Why or why not? Give me some feedback, comments, thoughts, or questions. Or if you learned something valuable or you enjoyed this video, as always, you can hit that thumbs up button or you can thumbs down. Oh, and by the way, remember I was talking about how leadership coaching is really an aspect of executive coaching? Well, I actually have a video on what is leadership coaching. You can watch it right here. And also, if you'd like to get your ICF credential, I have a full video where I interview International Coach Federation about getting ICF credentials, and you can watch that right here. And if you want to learn even more about how to change lives and get paid for it, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in future videos.